All right, y'all. Welcome back to the A&L podcast. You already know what it is. Now, for this next topic, we gotta talk about one of the goats, one of the greatest.
Cold
Dropped
World,
two singles.
J. Cole,
Jermaine, Jermaine.
Jermaine,
Oh,
the GOAT.
all
All
right.
right.
So me and Ogman both listened to the songs, but we just listened to them again while going through the lyrics because I just encourage all of y'all, if y'all love an artist, y'all should pay attention to the lyrics,
If y'all
how good the
want
songs
to
sound.
skip the civil rights movement of your education, listen to this song. I feel like at this point, the level that we're at, unless you are like in college, but if you are taking any kind of, all these freaking high school history courses, now bump that and listen to the climb back, bro. Listen to to Lion King on Ice, on period, bro.
All right. I don't know about skipping class, but I feel like this is good supplementary into materials, if you get what I'm saying. All right, Osman. So tell me what you thought about it.
I mean, like, I always knew Cole was fire. People be doubting my man's Cole, saying he boring, saying
This shit boring.
saying like
It's a personal album.
people talking like what's it called? He not as good as Eminem. Like what is y'all talking about? Like bro, because like here's the thing, right? And this is what I'm noticing with Cole, and it's the vibe that's Kendrick's been on for a while, and I also noticed it with Juice World, where you used to have Cole and Juice WRLD where they're like, hey, this is what I'm going through. Let me explain, for example, wet dreams, lucid dreams. Okay, I didn't really mean to make that correlation, but you know what I'm saying? Uh, like they're kind of talking about their own personal life. And we move to this place. You have songs, by Juice WRLD called "Life Is a Mess." You have songs by now we got J. Cole, where we got the climb back, where they're really speaking to us and giving us advice based off of the things that they've learned, and yet showing us their humility. Right? Juice WRLD always talk. I think Juice WRLD had in one of his songs. He was like, uh, "People act like I'm not. People act like I'm subject to change. People act like I can change super easily." And when Cole, he's like, I feel just as broke in the mind as I was when I was a college student. That's because in his mind, he doesn't feel like he's at a place where he understands much about the world. So not only are they being more humble than they used to, but there's this evolution where they're teaching the younger generation how to operate.
I explain that more. Like, what was tangibly in the song you can remember that makes you say that?
I see that your diamonds is glistening, but need you not forget there are homies that are dying, that are diming and nickeling. I think is that he said.
We'll put up like the actual
Yeah,
thing.
we'll put up the lyrics themselves. Uh, I'm pretty sure it's something like that what he said. Uh, uh, but it was just kind of this call, and the outro was the biggest. The outro of the climb back was the biggest example of like looking at the world and sort of explaining based off of what he's gone through, what he feels needs to improve. And I've been saying this for years. I felt this way as someone who has gone through a lot and has done a lot of wrong in his life. Uh, there needs to be something that supports, you know, the people who make mistakes and do bad things because they're not going to get any better unless we help them. It's the the crack epidemic was a bunch of criminals and drug dealers doing awful things, but the opioid epidemic was a medical thing. In my opinion, the solution isn't to make everybody a criminal. In my opinion, the solution is everyone is struggling mentally. And he was talking about how in the outro of the climb back, uh, of course, there's like a line for suicide because that's a well documented mental illness or a result of a mental illness. Uh, but there's not really, especially for guys, who live in a ghetto who feel like they have no choice but to kill. There's not really kind of much support in explaining different options and how to help them. And that's because of the perception of what it looks like when you're, when you have the urge to kill. That's a bad person. Oh, he tried to kill. That's just a shitty person. Even though you have no idea why, that's a bad person. And then when someone's trying to commit suicide, oh, he's just less confident. When you have no idea what's going through that person's mind. And so kind of this ability to give back and give advice and commentary while also explaining that he also has a lot to learn is a really nice transition to, in the way of Cole's artistry.
All right, definitely. Well, a quick point on what you said about what resources for different people. I saw this thing on Instagram and it said, I wonder why, it said something along the lines of, I wonder why the mafia activity is so romanticized in like Godfather movies and all that kind of stuff. Like there's a reference to the mafia in a Disney movie, Zootopia.
Yeah.
However, gang violence is portrayed in a much different way in the media, in movies, and cinema. Maybe because one group is black and one isn't. But talking about, especially like with Cole and his experiences, like going through what he's gone through, he's coming back and reflecting. And he's like, after going through these experiences, maybe I would have appreciated some resources that I could have gone to when I was struggling with thinking about, oh, I feel like I'm trapped and I have to do this one thing. Like some people that go through like suicide, they're like, I feel like I'm trapped and this is my only option. A lot of people in the situation like Cole was put in are like, I'm trapped. This is the only thing that I can do.
Bro, that's why I need Naomi, bro. Naomi's too fucking smart for me, bro. I swear to God, I didn't even fucking make that connection. I
literally just talked myself into that point.
Naomi's too smart, bro. Like I didn't even make that type of connection, bro. I swear to God, bro. Here we go. I feel like my mind was blown. Like I feel like I have to pick up the pieces of my mind to recover. It's like working out. Like like your muscles are broken and you have to recover them. I feel like my brain is in a bunch of different places and I have to recover them because I just fucking got some fucking Nipsey Hussle, Kendrick Lamar type knowledge. Damn, that was deep, bro. All right. I would agree. And so I actually wanted to ask you a question. This beat was actually not a far cry different, but I think a little bit different from what we're used to seeing from Cole. And in general, we're seeing him sing more. What does that mean? What do you think that means for his artistry?
Well, on Genius lyric, um, in the script, in like the general description of the song, they're talking about like this, especially the climb back. It's talking about how Cole, aside from reflecting on his experiences, he's learning, like he's rediscovering his love for rap. So maybe that comes with trying something new. Or just more like sing rap, and he's, especially in his most recent songs, he's really reflecting on his past experiences. So I think that he's gonna ride with this wave for a little bit. And when it comes to, I think what's also coming is a lot more emphasis on lyricism and his sound. Because let's not act like this man did not have bar after bar after bar.
It was not even because bar. When you say like it's a bar, like that has like it used to have such a clear meaning, but I think now the meaning has evolved so much. Specifically, the wordplay, bro.
Wordplay is what I meant by bar, by the way. But yes,
like. And Naomi just like literally like 20 seconds ago before we pressed the record button, he just put me onto this shit. I told you this is why I need smart people around me. But yeah, I think he was like, people are packing lead like they're going to school, right? I didn't really get that. I'm like, what? And then like when he like made the gun, he was like, okay, people are packing lead. I'm like, and it's like, it's something that not many rappers are doing. And it's kind of like wordplay is, I feel like, kind of like a filtration mechanism. And like the rappers who are willing and able to wordplay are on a different level. So you can sort of, you know, see, you know, weed out the really good rappers from the sort of pretty good or average rappers, right? Uh, Wordplay is one of those mechanisms. And because you know, theoretically, you know, even like a rapper like Crappy, like Lil Pump, right? If you say what makes a good rapper and you just say, okay, well, rhyming and a good hook and a good beat, okay, well, Lil Pump has that. Uh, but what differentiates from a mediocre rapper to an excellent master of the craft? And I think one of those things is wordplay. Obviously, there's, you know, variation and other stuff, but I think one thing that goes into that is wordplay. And it's always like, I think it gives rap a level of complexity, and it, I think wordplay to me is the thing that makes rap unique. Like there has always been an emphasis on rhymes, but there's been an emphasis on rhymes in music since the beginning of time. Wordplay is the thing that makes rap so complex and, in my opinion, beautiful.
Oh, all right. So to add on to that, and this is part of the reason that J. Cole is one of my favorite artists out, is because for music to speak to me, I need it to sound good to my ear. That's like catchy, rhymey, have a good hook and stuff. But the wordplay and the lyricism and the meaning behind it is equally as valuable. So if I get an artist that brings both of those together perfectly, that's someone that's going to speak to me. And I feel like Cole, especially, time after time after time again, he brings that to the table, like almost flawlessly. I'm not gonna say flawlessly, but like what his music speaks to me, and he brings those elements very well together.
Agreed. Uh, and I think it's nice, and I'm excited for rappers to hopefully take up and listen to Cole's advice, uh, because it's powerful, uh, and I think that's also the cool part, and that's where I feel like, for me, where you evaluate, you know, evaluate, no, not evaluate, where you separate yourself. For me personally, as like a great to perfect, you know, my top five artists, you know, Neo, Chris Brown, J. Cole. Uh, the thing about those people is that you have something to learn from them. That is Juice World as well. You have something to learn from their story. They deliver their story in a way where you are learning, and in music, they use music as a tool to educate, right? Whether it be to educate people on how to manage relationships, whether it be to educate people in the case of Chris Brown, you know, uh, how to, you know, coming from this place of like aggression and frustration when he was 18, you know, how to respect women and care for women, uh, you know, you know, in your regular life and in your, you know, dating life, learning that skill from somebody, getting that education, and in Cole's case, investing in yourself and not falling for the traps of what the streets have to offer, and uh, pushing for more than what's expected of you. I feel like that's a big theme in a lot of Cole's music. Is it's like you have to understand that like a lot of these people who are struggling right now is uh, is their only option. Oh, one more thing I wanted to say. I think something that's unique about Cole's music that I'm realizing, like as we're talking, like really like on the spot, hot take. I feel like Cole's music is actually really good for white people to listen to, because I think when I hear white people talk about gang violence and, you know, street crime in regards to black people, there is this demonization because there is this lack of understanding of the choice, and there is this lack of understanding of the expectation, right? Or the lack thereof, right? The lack of choice, the lack of expectation. Um, there's not really this understanding that it is put in by the family. And so I feel like J. Cole is like a really good, rapper for white people to listen to, or any minority to listen to. Besides, obviously, black people should listen to it, but especially white people, because they'll be able to understand the black experience and the choices and the decisions leading up to the bad things that go on the news, or the bad things that the black men, go through or carry out.
So, yeah, when you said like J. Cole's good for white people to listen to, I think when you mean white people, you mean people that are ignorant of this part of the black experience.
Fair enough, yeah.
That's what you mean. Yeah. So a great song that you made me think of is Neighbors, when he's talking about how he got his paper up. He tried to move.
Oh, true. Facts.
And he was demonized, and people saw him in a certain way, and how that affects him, and how that drives him back that drives him out of those communities. So I think that that's a really good point. As in, like, he packages his messages in such a way where it's easy for other people to understand, and he can get what J. Cole talks a lot about. I think Charlamagne said this about J. Cole, is that he's a thinker. He can reflect and put what he's thinking into his music really well in a way that a lot of people can't understand. So I feel like, of course, like, he's just a orator in that kind of way. I feel like his messages and his words can reach a lot of people if those people really listen to what he's saying. I feel like definitely you're right about
that. I feel you. Nah, that's true. Yeah. Bro, and this is what happens every single time I be listening to Cole music, bro. My mind just be whole racing, bro. Because Cole, man, bro, Cole, I beg of you, please don't drop an album, bro. Okay, because I'm not ready. Okay, please drop an album in 2021. Okay, my favorite rapper is Juice WRLD. Okay, my favorite rapper is Juice WRLD. He has a shot to win Album of the Year. Okay, leave Juice WRLD alone, bruh. Leave my man's Juice WRLD alone. He has a shot to win Album of the Year. Let him have it. We all know you and Kendrick stay out of 2020. Okay, let my man Juice WRLD rest as a GOAT, as a legend. Okay, I swear, bruh. If this man drops an album in the next 6 months, I'm gonna be tight. I'm gonna be excited because I'm gonna learn something, but I'm also be tight because they're gonna snatch it up from my man Juice WRLD, and he deserves it.
Hey, yo, someone get this Juice WRLD stand out of here.
Hey, I'm a proud Juice WRLD stand, bro.
It's Cole World on the side. Stop it,
bro. I'm a proud Juice WRLD stand, but not Cole. Bro, please don't, bro. Like, we need Juice WRLD. Like, we need to stay up, bro. Like, but yeah, Cole is absolutely an amazing, like, practitioner of this art form, and I think it supremely bothers me that people like him don't get the recognition that they deserve in the general music community, because it's like, because you're able to paint. I think rapping and the art of rapping was like the first time I really realized, like, if you look at only the negatives, then obviously something looks terrible. Like, that's what I realized. I was like, when you hear these people who are painting rap in such a terrible light, like, oh, it's just these gangsters who are trying to influence young black kids to do all these terrible things, blah blah blah. Like, and you strip it down to only the worst things, like, it's just not an accurate representation. And Cole is a prime example of, like, I don't like to say real rap, because it's all real rap, apparently, quote unquote, but of I think if you're getting into rap for the first time, Cole is such a good ambassador to, you know, his style of music. Yeah.
All right, sounds great. This feels like a good place to wrap it up. So we gonna hit y'all back up with more A&L podcast. See y'all then.
All right. See you.